Hey everybody, my name is Michelle Prince. If you haven't met me yet at the school in Morrisville, I'm the literacy specialist for Cary and now Morrisville. Super happy to be here. Great warm welcome from all the teachers and children. Your children might be talking about me already. So I just wanted to show you the Language Arts Center that Miss Whitney and I set up this morning that incorporates our new programs, Handwriting Without Tears, all of the nice toys down here that Julie bought, and added to our LetterLand program here. And as you pan around, this is their LetterLand spelling wall. And you might ask, are my children going to be spelling? I can't believe my children will be spelling. And the answer is yes, they're absolutely going to be spelling. So as most of the children and parents know in Cary, I'm usually sitting right down in the Language Arts Center because that's where I work most of the time. We wanted to give a huge shout out to all of our families, all of the children. I'm missing you guys. All your teachers are missing you. So we're going to do a little bit of a lesson. And I'm going to talk to the parents about a few things that we would do at school with LetterLand cards. A lot of the parents have purchased LetterLand cards, and if you haven't, Amazon Prime comes overnight, and you could have them by tomorrow. So these are some things that you can do with the cards. With a 4 or 5-year-old, I would have all of the cards displayed. You can just lay them out on the table, and I might say to the child, why don't you run over there and spell the word pig for me, or the word crab for me? And they're going through and they're using the cues with the LetterLand characters to remember those sounds. So they would spell it, clever cat. Let's find red robot. If you're out there and you see red robot, point to the screen. Let me see. I don't see red robot.
Second row.
Second row. And Annie Apple. Where is she? And Bouncy Ben. And that's how they would do it. And then we would come and check while a teacher maybe worked with a couple of other children and then ask them to spell another word. So that's something super easy you can do while you're cooking dinner, just to give yourself, your children something extra to do, to keep up with their studies at school. Another thing that we do is just ask the children to tell us, who is this? And they would say the name, this is Eddie Elephant. And then we might say, what do you hear at the beginning of Eddie Elephant's name? And that would be one level higher. The child would say, I think I hear eh. If they were to say, I hear E, then we redirect them and say, that is an E, but what you hear is a sound. What sound do you hear? So the next step might be for that same child to tell me how many other things can you think of that begin with the sound from Jumping Jim. And they would give you a list of like alliterations that you could write down. If you have time to write some of those down, and if you don't, it's still some thoughtful things for your children to do. Another thing you could do is take maybe 7 or 8 of the cards, lay them out on the floor, and ask them to walk around the house and find small items that also begin with those sounds. So they might look at Golden Girl and realize that a glass begins with that same sound, and go get a glass and put it on top of Golden Girl. So there's lots of different things you can do, even if you don't have all of the supplies that we have, just with one set of cards. And if you don't have them, you can actually print them off online. So it'd be really easy for you guys to start doing some of this at home. The kids love it. We tease about them being the little beggars at Cary to come and do LetterLand. They'll press their faces into the glass and say, please give me a turn. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a lesson with all of the kids, and we're going to start with what would be appropriate for our new children or our 2-year-olds. And I'm just going to hold up a LetterLand card and say, who is this? And if you are sitting there with your child, I bet that your child will be able to answer that question. So, who is this? Who is this? What would happen if he spilled over? It would be icky, wouldn't it? Who is this? And do you know who he belongs to? Who is this? And what is he kicking? All of our LetterLand characters have little characteristics that make them unique. And some of those things are interesting to the children, like Red Robot. He takes people's things and he roller skates away very quickly, so the children realize that he's naughty. Who is this? And what sound does he make? Some of the LetterLand characters say their normal sound, like S, but who is this? And what sound does she make? Because it's not quack, quack. It's d, d, d when she flaps her wings. Who is this? If you're sitting out there and you see me, who is that? What sound do you hear at the beginning of her name? What sound do you hear at the end of her name? Vicky Violet. Can you tell your mom and dad what you hear at the end of Vicky Violet? Who is this? And who is her husband? And where do they live? So those are just a few things you can do. I want to do a couple of 3-sound words just so your kids can show off for you. So let's do this. I'm not going to make the sounds. You guys in the audience are going to make the sound. So when we take my finger and put it under each sound, I want you to say those sounds, and we're going to slide them together and make a word. Let's see. How about Lucy Lamplight, Annie Apple, and Peter Puppy. Everybody likes Peter Puppy. Are you ready? Say the sound. Say it loud so you can hear it. Did you get it? If you didn't, let's do it one more time. It's part of your body. Lap. Did you get it? Yeah.